Hi guys, it's nighttime now, so that's why you don't see me with the mug because it's obviously 8 o'clock, 8:30, almost 9 o'clock, and I'm not gonna have coffee right now, so I'll be up all night, and I already struggle with that. So, okay, so this topic is kind of, kind of, how do I say it? It's very disappointing. I don't know, but I know you've seen the title of the video and you're wondering like what's going on? What's that all about, Sean? And I'll tell you. Now I've been detransitioned for a couple of months now, and it is not without its ups and downs. Cause even though I still have my hangups about my body and everything, I'm starting to realize that it's hard to get rid of old habits. So, for example, I I started binding again. I started wearing my binder again after I swore. I threw it in the closet and was like, I'm never touching this thing again. Well, that didn't last long. Actually, you know what? I'll commend myself. I will commend myself because I did keep that up for a good couple of months. I wasn't wearing anything, or I was wearing sports bras, but I did it, and I didn't touch my binder for maybe 3 or 4 months. Now during this time, I was still experiencing chest dysphoria, and I would get into moods, and I would get into depressive moments. All dealing with how my chest looks. I noticed, when I go out in public, people look at me. They look at my chest and then they look at my face and they be like, something not adding up. Something not adding up. And I think you're a guy, but them titties, them tits kind of too big for a dude. But you know what I mean. So I've been dealing with that as well, and then just overall discomfort, and some days are good, some days are horrible, and some days I just wish I didn't have boobs. I wish I didn't have titties. I'm gonna just keep it 100. And I know I've talked about this in previous videos. I've always struggled with that. Since I was 13, and it's a fight, y'all. It's a battle. I'm realizing that it's a battle. And while I do want to stick to my guns. Because I told myself, when I decided to detransition, when I decided, hey, I'm going to try to figure this out in a different way than transitioning. I meant that I don't want to get top surgery. But now I'm starting to think, what if the demons win? Like, what if I shouldn't use that term, but what if I gave in? What if I did get top surgery? And I don't want to lose. I want to one day love my breasts, one day, but what if I can't? Because there are some days where I feel like I hate them. I fucking hate them. And I don't know what to do sometimes. You want to know what kind of started the domino effect of me wearing a binder in the first place was so I met my girlfriend's mom, and now she's under the impression that I am a guy, and it's hard. It pains me to say this, but currently, me passing as a guy to my girlfriend's mom and her family is kind of kind of like a safety net. Her parents aren't cool with her being into women, and I have the convenience of passing as male. So you see where I'm going? You see where I'm going with this? So when I met her for the first time, I said, hey, what if I just wore my binder so, my chest doesn't stick out more than it does without the binder, or when I wear a sports bra or something. And I did. I met her mom and I wore my binder, and I remember putting it on. And it felt like being acquainted with an old friend. And I know it's weird talking about like a fucking piece of fabric or whatever, but it felt like it hugged me. I felt like the comfort I always felt when I wore a binder. Like, I've been wearing my binder since I've been 16, 17. And like I mentioned in my video, I got my first binder as a gift. I didn't even have to pay anything. But over time, I bought new binders and whatnot. But it was, it felt good. it felt great. Honestly, truly, it felt, I put on my shirt, I put on my clothes, I put on my outfit, and I felt comfortable. I didn't feel that, looking down and seeing, my lumps. I felt secure. I felt safe walking. And it's like a love-hate relationship. Like, I love it because it makes me feel comfortable. But I hate it because it's like, this is what I'm trying to fight against. I'm trying to love my breasts in a healthier way. And I know binding them and squishing them and all of that is not good. It's not good for my back. But God, does it feel good. God, it feels fucking great. And, I went about the day and we hung out and, whatever. And that was that. And I think a couple of days later, I had a job interview. And I said, let me wear my binder to this job interview. And I did it again. And I felt a little bit more confident. I didn't feel that feeling that they're looking. They're looking there. I think they're looking. I mean, it could be all in my head, but maybe they are looking, and I didn't want that. I didn't want the weird stare, I guess. Transitioning did offer me a bit of a safety net, I guess, in some ways, dealing with the world. I mean, that's why I transitioned in the first place, because I wanted to not be gender non-conforming and gender non-conforming woman, because that comes with stares, glances, it comes with judgment, it comes with discrimination. And while I haven't and have no desire to stick myself with a needle again, I have no desire to start testosterone again, sometimes I feel like, when I go in these job interviews or when I go to work and stuff, it's like, maybe it's safer to pass as male. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's safer is the right word, but maybe it's more convenient to pass as male. And it's like, as much as I want to be the gender non-conforming, I don't want to say role model, but like I want to be the example, I guess, to other girls and women coming up. It's like I'm human at the end of the day. Like I suffered, and I'm trying to heal my trauma in the best way possible, but it gets hard sometimes. Like, I remember, like, not even a couple of weeks, maybe last week, I got very suicidal. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but we're gonna roll with it. But I got very, I didn't want to have this body. I wanted to cut my breast off. I had all those feelings I had back when I was a teenager, just swarming back into my mind, and it was like, I don't know if I can do this. And I made a post on my Tumblr, and it got a little bit of reblogs and stuff, and there were some people, what's funny, like, I'm not trying to, like, dig on, like, radical feminists, but I feel like a lot of radical feminists who aren't D-trans, I don't think they get it, because I had a lot of them yelling at me and saying things like, oh, how do you, your feelings like this and you wanted to give up, how will that look like to other, women who deal with what you deal with? And while that is a good point, sometimes but I feel like, fuck it, like, sometimes it hurts to the point where it's like, I don't want to deal with this. And I'm not trying to set a bad example. I do want to be an example to other women and girls out there who, like, I can be a living testimony of, like, hey, look, I survived dysphoria. I did it with no surgery. I got rid of the hormones, and I did it well. And it's like, I want to be that, but at the same time, I'm not finna sit up here and act like I don't suffer. I'm not finna sit up here and act like I haven't thought about top surgery. And I don't know. I just wish they did. I just wish those people who were commenting on the post and reblogging it would just understand, like, it's fucking hard. It's fucking hard to. It's fucking hard to deal with this. But also, I feel like I do have to be patient, because I am seeing a therapist and we're doing the whole, like, addressing the trauma of what got me here in the first place and all of that. And I'm looking forward to that. I really am. Even though that post I made it seem like I wanted to give up. But, some days I fucking do. Like, I don't know what you want me to say, what you want me to do. I'ma always keep it 100. And some days I feel like I can't fucking do this. And the demons won. For the record, I'm not binding right now. I'm not binding right now, but not gonna lie, I thought about it. And I have another interview tomorrow, and I'm contemplating where am I binding in. Fuck. It's like I feel horrible. And then on top of that, I try to be, at least, a radical feminist. And it's like, can I even be that? If I'm binding, can I even be that? If I cut my breasts off and get top surgery, would I betray the movement? Would I betray, I shouldn't say call it a movement, but like, would I betray all the women and girls that look at me and then they look at me and say, oh, well, I guess there is no point. Maybe gender dysphoria, you can't win. Will I be a loser? Am I a loser? Because I went back to binding my chest again? Did I fuck up? Should I punish myself? Because I've thought about it. It's like when you're trying so hard to break a habit and you go back to that habit, you tend to be mad at yourself and say hateful things to yourself. Like, why the fuck did I do that? Why the fuck did I? When I said I wouldn't. Why did I do that when I told myself, I made a promise to myself, I'm not going to wear it anymore. But I did it anyway, you know. I mean, is it a cop-out to say that I'm only human? And I'm only a woman and I'm just trying to figure this shit out after 10 plus years of transitioning? And that all of that isn't just going to be erased in a couple of months. Do I be kinder to myself when I fuck up? But I don't know. And this is what I've been struggling with, because it's just like, I'm kind of like disappointed in myself, really. And also, I feel like, you know, I've been making these videos and documenting my, you know, transition, and I feel like I'm not doing it right. Will I be wrong if I said, while I don't believe I'm a man, God doesn't provide so much convenience to convince the world you are? I'm working through it. I don't want people to look at this video and think I gave up. I didn't give up. I fucked up. And I went back on a promise I made to myself. True, but I'm not giving up. I'm going to do this the right way. I'm definitely not going to take testosterone again. I've been tired of taking testosterone like years ago. I just didn't feel like I could, or I felt like I had to prove something, but this chest situation is giving me a headache, honestly. It's giving me a run for my money. And I know my girlfriend is understanding, and she tells me, hey, look, if you end up getting top surgery, that I would still love you, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to, but at the same time, it's like, fuck, I kind of do want to. Like, if I get top surgery, you know, I promise I won't call myself a man. I already know that I'm a very dysphoric woman. I know that. How do you undo years of hate? How do you undo years of hatred for your body? Do I at least get a B minus for trying? I don't know why I'm talking like this is like some type of fucking school or grade. Like who's grading my work? But the pain that I feel is real. The suffering that I feel is real. I know that it's in my head. I know that it's irrational. I get that. I get all that. I get all that. I've read all the radical feminist books. I read all the feminist theory. I get it. I get it. I read it. But like all of that doesn't take away the fact that I hate my fucking breasts. It doesn't take away the fact that God, if I could, I'll rip them off myself and just bleed out on the pavement. I hate that I feel so free. Wear my binder. When the reality is I'm not free. It's like I'm giving in to the demons that I'm struggling with when I put it on. But God doesn't feel so fucking good. And I'm trying to be strong. I'm trying to be a self-loving woman that I sought to be. I hear other detrans women, they're happier now. I want to get like that, but it's like I want to also ask them how. Like, how the fuck did you do that? I just don't know. Since my detransition, yes, I've had moments where I love myself and I'm being reacquainted with myself and my body. There are days when it's like, I don't know if I can do this. There are days when my body just puts me in the most depressive state I can think of. And it's real, it's real. And I don't know how to deal with that. Like, I feel like I relapse. Well, relapse is the correct word, because I don't think that's reserved only for, like, drug addiction, but, like, I find myself going back to my bad habits. And I kind of feel ashamed, and I kind of feel like I gave up, or I want to give up. But maybe this is just part of the process, I guess. And hopefully I figure it out. But I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just gonna end the video here. Just wanted to talk about that because while it's been something that's been in my mind for a while, I decided to talk about it because at first I was scared to talk about it, but I felt like, I always want to be truthful, especially when it comes to my videos, so, hopefully my voice could probably be make somebody feel like they're not alone dealing with this, and that their feelings, I feel the same way too. But anyways, I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Alright? Bye.